We're live.
Swing lover every night. Swing lover, holding me tight. Swing lover, nights and whole night. You took everything now just to kiss me goodnight. Swing lover every day. Swing lover, take it away. Swing lover, ready to play. You took everything now just to say I'm okay. Won't you leave it uptown? Won't you turn down the dial? Stay at home, you baby alone. Try to be still every once in a while. Swing lover, with the clothes. Swing lover, holding me close. Swing lover, don't want to pose. You took me now just to say no. Oh, won't you leave me uptown? Won't you turn down the dial? Stay at home with your baby alone. Try to be still every once in a while. Swing lover every night. Swing lover, holding me tight. Swing lover, don't want to fight. You took everything now just to kiss me goodnight.
Hey, what's going on out there in the world of Facebook? Are they live? Are we on? Are we happening? Cool, cool. We're starting a little late today. We apologize, but I'm glad to see some people signed in waiting for us to get started and ready to have some fun with some swing dance lessons. Awesome. Okay, so welcome everybody. This is our Tuesday 6:30 class. Swing is the theme. We've been doing mostly East Coast swing, and we did a little single step first, then we did a little triple step last week. This week we're going to come back to single step, and we're going to get you guys ready for Lindy Hop. I want to start teaching some Lindy Hop with Sherry and have some fun with that if we can, maybe starting next week. But for now, we're going to do some East Coast swing, but we're going to show you how to transition into some other fun kick patterns. We're going to teach you guys how to dance what we call above the floor. So, if you're ready, let's begin. All right, so starting off with our basic East Coast swing. For those of you who know the basic, it's a 6 count, and we're going to start off by stepping in place, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to do a little rock step for 5, 6. So you put that all together, and it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slow, slow, quick, quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slow, slow, quick, quick. And one more time. 5, 6, slow, slow, and quick, quick. So that right there is your basic timing for a single step. If we did triple step, it'd be 1, 2. Because we're not changing the amount of beats we're dancing on, just the amount of steps that we take. So instead of going 1, hold 2, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one more time. 5, 6, boom. So we did that last week, and we had you guys doing that with us, a little triple step. We had a common denominator for both, whether you do single or triple, and that was the pulsing action that we create. So we're into the knees like shock absorbers. The heels come off the floor and pulse, That gives you kind of a little bit of a softer step, right? A little soft shoe step. And as we go into the pattern, we keep that energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So you create that pulsing action. 1, 2, 3, 4. That way you don't have this boring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's kind of sad and slow. And then you don't have that working too hard, trying all these big steps, exaggerating everything. You find that happy medium, that underlying pulse. I don't want to call it a bounce. It's just a little pulse of energy, rock step. And you maintain that whether you're doing a single, 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 or if I triple, I still have that pulse and rock step, a little pulsing action. Yeah? And it just, as you grow into the dance, some people smooth that out as they get into Lindy Hop and other styles. And others like to keep that bouncing feel. In Lindy Hop, they call it a Savoy style or a Hollywood style if it's smooth. Okay, so we're going to teach you all how to do, what's the difference between into the floor and above the floor, okay, with your basic steps. So, getting right to it, I'm going to face this way, have Sherry face the other way for starters. As we're bouncing and pulsing, I'm starting with my left, she's starting with her right. We're going to do into the floor, forget the rock step because the rock step's not going to change, so we're going to ignore that for a moment. And we're going to just do a 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down. And you keep that energy into the floor, into the floor. When I say into the floor, I'm stepping down on the 1, and I stay there for the 2. Now, if we were to do above the floor, then what we do is we kick on the 1. So we're coming up with the energy, kicking above the floor, or sometimes a variation of that is a tap, but we're still not compressing, changing the weight. Your weight stays on the planted leg. Thank you. So the planted leg is on my right. So from here, I'm doing a tap step, yes, or a kick step. So let's start off by doing a little kick step so we can keep that energy high. So on my count, we're going to go for a kick step, kick step. 5, 6, 7, and kick step, kick step, kick step, kick step. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick, kick. And okay, so we have this. While we're doing it, a couple tips. Keep that energy forward into the ball of the foot. Don't stand tall and don't lean back. That'll take you off your center balance. You want to stay more into the ball of the foot. Gives you more agility, more balance, and you help you get that kick step, kick step, kick step, kick step. Cool? All right, and as we do, heels are in, toes are out. Now, you can take that same timing signature and make it a little smoother, less aggressive, by doing a tap step. So we could go tap step, tap step, tap and step. And you'll notice we tap out from under our center, and then we pull that foot in to change weight. So it's a tap in place, and you pull those feet back under your center. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tap step, tap step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking good. Keep it going with us, everybody. Tap, step, tap, and there you go. So no matter what we're doing with our feet, the common denominator from the upper body is carriage. Always lift your rib cage, shoulders back, arms up. I don't care what dance you're doing, you want to hold a good carriage. And the arms in this particular sequence will be elbows a couple inches from the rib cage, and the hands are out a little bit, almost like a handlebar. If you had a bicycle, you'd be on the handlebars out here, not at the axle in here. So we don't want any mountains, and we don't want any downward valleys. Keep that parallel to the floor. And guys, you're going to mostly have those palms facing in, yes? And ladies, palms down. Okay, so we have above the floor concept now. If I'm dancing into the floor, I'm going down on 1. If I'm above the floor, I'm up on 1 and transferring down on 2. Either way, you end up down on 2, whether it's above the floor or into the floor. So that's a good concept to play with. So I'm going to turn around with Sherry. And we're going to call these different movements. So we have standard, into the floor. We have kick steps, and we have tap steps. Let's just play with those a little bit. Here we go. Get that pulse going. Ready? A 5, 6, 7, and standard first. We go into the floor, into the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. In, down, down. Looking good. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? We got it. Let's do our kick steps. And here we go. And then we kick, step, kick, step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick, step, kick. Cool. Now a tap step. Ready? Here we go. Tap, step, tap, step, tap, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now back to our regular. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down.
No rock step.
No rocking. Okay, cool. How you guys doing out there? We get the hang of this? Okay, excellent. Now, let's add the almighty rock step, shall we? The rock step is just a ball change done on 2 beats of music. 2 steps, 2 beats, so it's a shift of weight rather than a planting of the weight. So when we do a single step, a slow timing, I plant my weight. Where quick, I shift my weight. Yes? So a rock step is a shift of weight. We're going to go ahead and add that to our standard, to our kick steps, and to our tap steps. We're going to add that rock step and get used to that because that's going to be part of course, what we put into our basic footwork of East Coast Swing. Okay, on my count, starting with a standard 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and standard. Now we add the rock step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're incorporating 6 beats. We break it into thirds. You have the first 2, last 2, and the last 2. First 2, second 2, last 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's go ahead and try to do our kick steps. Here we go. Rock step, kick, kick, and rock step, kick, step, rock step, kick, kick, and rock step, kick, kick, and rock step. Cool. One more time. Now back to the standard. And rock step, standard step, rock step. Cool. All right, let's do our tap steps. Here we go. And rock step, tap, tap, and rock step, tap, tap, and rock step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Standard down and back to the dance. Oh, well done, everybody. How we doing out there? Looking good? Cool. Okay, let's keep moving. So, we have this application now. How to put this into partnering. We're going to do this in open position, closed position. If you have a partner, you can do it in any of those. Now, traditionally, the leader will initiate the variation of step, and the follow will reciprocate and emulate that motion, that movement. Not essential, because I could be doing kick steps, and Sherry can be doing her standard timing, and it shouldn't throw each other off, because we always maintain that pulse of energy. But, of course, it's more fun, more complementary, more unified if you do, as a follow, emulate and reciprocate what the leader is doing. So, from a closed position, as we get into this V at the shoulder, toe turns out, and we're going step, step, rock step. Actually, let's go into our open position. So we're squared up. Cool. Now, from here, we're going to add our kick steps. Here we go. And kick, kick, rock step, kick, kick, and a rock step. And of course, we want to make sure we're not kicking each other. So I kick slightly away, where she kicks slightly more centered. But essentially, if you don't make your kicks large, then there should be enough energy, clearance there not to kick each other. So that's your kick steps. Now, we can put in our tap steps. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, rock step. Ready, here we go. And we go tap, tap, and rock step. Tap, tap, and a rock step. One more time. And we're back to the dance. And a rock step, go. Cool. Now, this gives you variety of movement, so you can apply that to musical interpretation, musicality, musical play. When I hear a song that's a little bit faster, a little more jumpy, a jump blues, a fun, upbeat song, faster tempo, I'm going to play with more kick steps. When I feel a song is smoother, almost in a triple step timing sequence, I'm going to revert to my tap steps. And that makes it a little more interpretive of the music and what's coming through. And so that's a nice application. You can think about that as the music plays. Examples of this. So if I had an upbeat song and the tempo was a pretty good snap to it, right? 5, 6, 7, and step, and I start rotating my basic, and I start doing a little kick pattern, and Sherry sees and feels that energy, she can emulate that pattern. Rock step, kick, kick, rock step, kick, kick, and then the 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 rock step. And that becomes fun as an energy builder in that type of music. So there's a really good application for your kick steps and a simple timing signature playing with partnering. Now, on the flip side, if I'm doing something a little mellow like a triple step, and I've got her maybe in a closed position, triple step, rock step, and I want to do something to preserve a little energy, to lighten the movement, I can do a tap, tap, tap step, tap step, tap, tap, tap step, tap step, tap, tap, tap step, tap step. And I'm just taking her around the room with this, yes? Tap step, tap, and then we rock step, and we're right out of it back to our basic, or our triple, triple, triple. That was a little fast. So that's another application. The slower the music goes, the more applicable that is, in my opinion. Okay, so now we've taught you the concept of into the floor. We've given you some footwork to play with, to digest, and to interact with each other. So now, what do you say we get into some patterns, some fun applications that you can learn at home, and if you have a partner, you can do them together. They're also very commonly led in a social ballroom or a dance hall or swing dance, and also they're very common in different syllabus of studios or just good lead-follow technique. If you're familiar with the movement, it'll help you follow it out there. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to get into what we call a jig kick or a jig movement. It's a repetitive tuck is what it is. So last week we taught you guys tuck turns. We went triple step, rock step, tuck, turn, rock step. And then we did a little variation of that if you were with us. If not, you can go back and watch it. We did a tuck, turn, and then a turn around again, redirect. So we played with tuck turns, and we taught the concept of that. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that concept and bring an in and out action. Tuck, out, tuck, in. When I do this, it eliminates, for the sequence of movements, it eliminates the need, desire, or even reason to rock step. So I'm really just doing a measure of 4 beats in that sequence. So when I take Sherry into a triple, rock step, and I bring her in, now I could send her back out, and that would be a tuck turn. But if I bring that hand down, now I can send her back away the other way and not let her go. So I'm coming in and out, in and out, in and out. And notice, we're going around the world here, right? We can make this move forward, right? Or I can go around her. The key really is this connection point, our posted hand, stays centered. You're not ever going to see this, or that, or this or that. You're going to try to keep that hand pretty much on point in what we call our center, right? Not her center, not my center. Our center, the center space between the couple. And so whether I bring that hand up or down, Sherry's going to maintain that. And so if I were to push into her hand, I met with a resistance there. There's a compression. And if I were to take her hand and pull it this way, I'm met again with a resistance, leverage, and there's a counterbalance effect. So she takes her core back there. That's key. Her core goes back. You can see how she takes her center back. And that's going to help me feel that reciprocated energy. We'll get a little closer to you guys. So from here, I can do my core counterbalance, or my compression, right? So counterbalance or compression. And that's partnering. That takes time. If you don't have a partner to practice that with, it's hard to practice because there's no transfer of energy or reaction to what you're doing. So that's something you gotta have a partner to really experience. But in the interim, you can practice all the footwork, all the styling, all the timing, and get your own ability so that when your partner comes along, you're ready. You get all the hard stuff out of the way. Okay, so in this concept, as I'm going triple step, I'm into the floor. Down, and then she feels me come up. You see that? Instead of going down and into the floor and shifting her in with me, right? So that's happening back here for my connection. She feels that shift, that angle, that shaping as I shift down into the knees, into the floor. Or if I come up, right, she feels that rise up. And that's what we call above the floor. So I'm going triple step into the floor, and then I take it up. And in that sequence, I'm tapping. She could kick. That's her interpretation. But when she sees that tap happen, most of the time, like I said, the follower will emulate what the leader is doing. Maybe not the first time, but she'll pick up on it and play along, traditionally. So now I'm tapping, and we're turned away from each other. So we come in, facing each other, almost square, and then we step down as we're opening up simultaneously, and we tap in the other direction. So we're twisting away. Can you see that? We come in and out. Tap, step, tap, step. And of course, I'm tapping more out on purpose to give her the ability to take her feet between mine and not impede her movement by hogging that space. I give her an opportunity. I present the opportunity of her spacing, and that, of course, is her awareness. She'll take advantage of that. That comes with a little experience. So here we go again. Rock step, in and out, and in and out. Cool. Now, 2 notes. You don't need a partner to do this. In and out. In and out. So going tap, step, tap, step. The twist is coming from your trunk. So you're going to really twist your body away, and then twist your body back towards your partner. From the shoulders, from the core, from the hips, the whole trunk is going to swivel out. Even the heels will swivel out of the feet. Well, how do I trigger that with a partner? Part of it is this hand, because you'll notice when we're doing that in and out, this hand doesn't really move. My left, her right stays centered and posted. But this hand back here, okay, when I engage her shoulder and she settles back into that hand and gives me a connection point, now I can open my hand up and close my hand. Open and close. And when I do that, Sherry feels, oh, he wants me to swing open the door, and close the door. So I can get her to do this type of movement, encouraging or offering that opportunity that she takes and runs with. And then I just emulate it, of course, because I'm initiating, so I can jump in and do it with her. Just her, or me with her, in and out. Yeah, because of that lead. Yeah, so that's fun, and that's a fun little pattern that you can apply to your East Coast swing. So as we're dancing, we're going step, step, rock step, or triple, triple, either way, if it's slower or faster. And then I do a tap step, tap, tap step. I can make this progressive. Yeah, and how do you make it progressive? You do a tap and then you step forward. Then you do a tap and you step forward. Tap forward, tap forward, tap forward. See how it works?
No.
Can you see? Can you see me now? No? Okay, I'll back up. Tap, tap. So I'm doing my tap step, and that's going to get the motion. Motion in the ocean. Cool. Yeah? So we go again. And tap step, tap. This is above the floor. Above the floor. Then if I go into the floor, it's down, down, rock step, down, down, above the floor, up, up, up. Then we go down, down, rock step. So there's a neat little sequence. One of the things, if you don't want to go around the room and travel, you notice I took her in a circle around me. So I'm basically staying centered like the axle, and she's on the outer ring, and she just swings around me doing the same type of action. So that's a nice way to keep your spot and still play with this movement. Okay, so we talked about the tap steps. Well, if we can do tap steps, we can also do
Kick steps.
kick steps. Oh, the enthusiasm is high today. We can do kick steps as well. So from here, with a little more energy to the music, a little faster tempo, I can do a kick step, kick step, kick step, and I can take her into a circle with me. Kick step, kick, here she comes. Or we can go for a little walk together. Ba-da, ba-da, bum, 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 ba-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now how do I get out of this? You can't. You're stuck here forever. You go back down, and now you're into the floor again, remember? So that is a nice transitional step. Again, if the music is higher and faster, you can play with that more fun. So one more time, I'm going single, down into the floor, and then after I rock step, she feels that energy come upward, and she emulates that kicking action. And kick, step, kick. Again, you can try this without a partner. So actually, let's do that. Let's try this if you're home without a partner. Let's play with this footwork and get you that action, get you to feel it. So we're going to turn around, and we're going to do the same thing we did before. So we're doing our kick, step, but now we're going to shape it. So I'm going to turn to the right as she turns to the left. We're going to switch sides. So now you can see the more accurate partnering. So I turn this way, kick, then I step back to square. Now I go this way, kick, and I come back to square. And the whole time I still have that same pulsing action. Let's back up a little bit. So from here, we go basic kicks first. Kick, step, kick, step. Now we're going to twist it. We go kick, step, kick, step, kick, step, kick. And we have that little soft bounce pulsing action. And we're twisting, kick and kick, kick and kick and kick. One more time, and then we'll go back to the single. Single, step, rock, step, single, step, rock, step. Okay, so how are we feeling with that, guys? I think we've got a pretty good taste of how that works. So we can now get into some fun patterns. Okay. So we're going to do a step that we call mooch kick. The mooch kick, right? Like Minnie the Moocher. Or a double mooch. So we're going to go like this. We're going to back up a little bit. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ready for the double mooch? Here we go. Kick, step, double, kick, rock, step, dance. Again from the other side. Step, step, rock, step, kick, kick, double, kick, rock, step, dance. Cool. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rock, step, 1, 2, 3. And then one more time with numbers. We go rock, step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you have a rock step. That's almost like a 9-10. Back to your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. So, let's do this one. Just the footwork without a partner again. So we're going to swing around, and we're going to do the whole pattern so you get a feel for it. Give me one basic step first, and we'll break it down as we go. So we go 6 count, and 5, 6. Now, our first 1, 2 is a kick step. It's what we call our jig walks or jig kicks. So we go 1, 2. We turn the other way. 3, 4. And notice we're progressing a little bit. So let's back up and do that again. Basic first. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we turn back to center and we do a double kick. And that's my left, her right. Stay balanced on that inside leg. And we again, double kick. That's scary. Again, double kick. And then we do our rock step. That's actually going to be our 9, 10. And we're back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do it again. In continuation or in sequence. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back to the dance. Cool. Let's go again. Ready? And we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rock, step, dance. Hey, not so shabby. Cool. I know it's a little bit tricky to get that double kick. So you can practice just that. Practice that left leg, strengthen that right leg. Do your kicks, right, with just one leg, and then switch. Kick, 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 and then switch. Kick, 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 and then kick, kick. Switch again, we go. And kick, kick. One more time, and then kick, kick. Cool, and so you're starting to strengthen your balance, your leg strength, and you're keeping that pulse of energy with the timing. So that's a little exercise. Okay, good job out there, guys. Putting it together one more time. I'm going to do it facing this way. Oh, Sherry's checking the technicalities here again. Seeing if we're all there. How we doing, everybody?
We're good.
We good. Who's out there with us? Hey, James is with us. Woo! And I think Kaylin's with us. Woo! Susanna's with us. Woo! Is that Nancy White? Good to see everybody. Hey, thanks for joining us today, guys. Doing a little swing dancing. Mooch kicks. We're mooching. Here we go.
Not smooching. We're in quarantine.
I still smooch. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and step. Step, rock step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool, here we go. Basic first. Now double mooch. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and rock step. Back to the dance. Hey, ho! Una mas. Here we go. Rock step, kick, double kick. Cool. Try to remember, guys. Just have fun with this at home today. If you have a partner, you're going to want to have that compression into your post. So after that spring away, kick. When we come in, notice there's a compression here. We're into our post. Right there's the compressed energy. And away, there's a counterbalance here. I want to show you. That's where the connection is still, but it's countered. And I have her shoulder, so there's another connection point. Then right here, there's a double spring. So that's double resistance, right? She's coming in and out, in and out, in and out. And I'm initiating that energy. If I didn't do that, if I just went kick, 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 rock step, she would just keep dancing. She wouldn't do that double kick. But because I keep her there, right? So I could do something like this. Now this is a little redundant, but I could do this. Kick, kick, ba, 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 da, 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 and then we're back to the dance. Now again, a little redundant, you know, never do more than what, 17 of these?
17.
So that's a good rule of thumb.
That's the cutoff, more than 17.
But 2 is fine, 2 is acceptable. So that's the pattern today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and a rock step, back to the dance. Hey, looking good out there, guys. Hope you're having fun with this. Okay, we still got some time. We want to keep going for about an hour today, and we're about 15 minutes away from that. So we're going to keep going. We'll show you some other things you can do. A little quick recap for those of you who just joined. We've got our standard basic. We've got into the floor, down, down. We've got above the floor. We taught you how to do these little jig kicks. Jig kicks, go for a walk. Or you can do tap, 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 tap. Or kick, 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 kick. Da, da, da. Mix them up, mix them up. And then you can always come out with a nice little tuck turn, because we talked about how you're compressing and utilizing that tuck action anyways. So you can always spring out of those movements with a tuck turn. It's a nice transition. Okay, now let's take this into, what do we talk about, Sherry? You want to add some Charleston to this? I think Sherry wanted to add some Charleston today. So because not all of us have partners, we're going to teach you guys how to do an 8-count Charleston step, which is pretty traditional, pretty simple. and fun. So we're going to get into that, and I teach you how to apply it to our East Coast swing, and then as we progress through the series into Lindy Hop, it'll really make sense how we can use it in Lindy Hop as well. So for starters today, we're going to introduce you to Charleston. Now when you think about Charleston, of course you think about ragtime music, roaring 20s, prohibition, and you think about the old shuffle step they used to do. And that's where it came from initially, right? That was the craze back then. But as the music progressed into the 30s, the dance changed, the big bands came in, and people started doing what's called Charleston Swing, or that's what we call it today. A Charleston Swing is a little different. Instead of going into the floor and down, you're actually going to come up above the floor like we talked about in today's lesson. So it's a good segue. So I'm going to swing around with Sherry over here, and we're going to have her start with the right, and I'm going to start with the left. Now, word to the wise, you follows out there, ultimately, it's good to learn both how to do the Charleston Swing, right foot first or left foot first, and because when we get into more advanced Charleston patterns, the ladies do switch over, which is one of the few dances that happens. Usually, the lead switches his footwork to match the ladies. But in this, the way this developed through history, the follow switches the footwork and ends up doing the leader's footwork starting with the left. So it's really good to learn both. As a leader, it's not as essential, but we do like to work on strengthening both sides of our body, not just for dance, but also for the physical attributes of that, of strength training. So we always try to do both sides equally in dance. And so that's just a good thing to work on. But for today, Sherry's going to demonstrate the right foot action. I'm going to demonstrate the left foot action. And you guys can choose to do whatever you like.
If you think of your Charleston as being a side-by-side, or what we call the Charleston Swing, ladies, you will be right foot starting. When we do tandem Charleston, which is front to back, that's when the ladies start with their left.
Or shadow.
Or shadow Charleston.
Yep.
So, also real quick, hi to our cousin Rachel who's watching.
Rachel, what's up? Is that the Viper girl?
And
Woo!
Rose and Jim McGuire. Hello guys.
Hey.
It's nice to see you. Well,
Hey.
virtually, your names. And of course the lights. John and Julie, they've been so supportive.
Are they dancing today?
They better be.
Woohoo! I love it. Good to have you guys on board. Thank you all for your support and for tuning in with us today. We're going to try to keep this going as long as we have to, so it's a fun way to connect. Okay, let's get into Charleston, shall we?
We shall.
Now, this is an 8-count dance, so that means 8 beats, but we're not going to use 8 steps because some of the steps are held. So let's get into how that works. Starting off with the basic, it's real simple. My left, her right, we do a ball change. So we go ball change. That's your 1, 2. Now because this is an 8-count, we'll break it in half to 2 different measures of 4. So,
Don't let it confuse you because this is very similar to step, step, rock, step, or ball change.
so Sherry's right, my left, we go 1, 2. That's a little spring. 1, 2. Now I'm going to kick for 3 and then transfer my weight for 4. And that's when I go down into the floor. So that's above the floor on 3, into the floor on 4. So essentially, we're doing a rock step, kick step. Kind of like when we went rock step, kick step, rock step, kick. But now we're going to go rock step, kick step. And I want progression. So if you look at us at our sides, we're going to go rock, step, kick, and go forward. I want a forward action there. I don't want to see rock, step, kick, step. I don't want to step in place. I want to go forward into that progression. Okay, now that's halfway there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Once we hit that 4th beat, so 1, 2, 3, 4, now we're going to take that right leg and kick 5, 6, for the next 2 beats. And again, that is above the floor. We don't actually even contact the floor for that step. Think of that as a swing of the legs. Swing, come back. Now, as we transfer for the last 2 beats, you go back on 7 and hold into that 8th beat. So that 8th beat is a settling action. And again, we're back on 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, swing and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rock step forward, swing, bring rock step forward, swing, bring it back. Rock step forward, swing, bring it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and rock step, kick, bring it back, una más, and finish your step. How'd we do? All right, cool. I know some of you out there have done this before, so this is just a refresher. But for those of you who are brand new to Charleston Swing, this is a good way to break it down and get comfortable with it. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit more of that, showing you guys the energy that I want to transfer. Think of it like a pendulum swinging forward and back, right? Big old pendulum swinging forward and back off of an A-frame. And that energy swooping down and up, down and up. So as you get into this type of back and forward, forward and back and forward, forward and back. You want to feel that energy and generate that type of emotion. The positioning of the body for this type of activity, very animated. From back in the days of swing when it was really kind of crazy and fun, and very cartoony in its vibe, and the music is all upbeat and coy-hearted, just a fun style of dance. Everything's happy. We want to stay compressed and angled forward, almost like you're running or jogging. So you don't want to be up here. Maybe for the traditional Charleston, but for the Charleston Swing, you want to kind of shape downward a little bit, almost like a jogger. And the arms, if you notice, it's the same as we walk or run. It's opposing movement. So left to right, right to left is how you want that energy to go. So if my left is forward, my right is forward. And if my right is forward, my left is forward. Opposite hand to foot or leg. Okay, so that gives you a little couple tips. Let's do it one more time from this position. I want you guys to dance it with us. Get that pulse. We still have that pulse of energy. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep a little pulse all the time through. Get the arms swinging. 3, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and rock step. Kick, bring it around. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. One more time, and finish your step. Boom. Hey, not bad out there. Looking good, everybody. So we're going to keep progressing through this, maybe teach some variations of it. But the first thing we want to do is get into how do you do this with a partner. So like I said, I'm not going to get into Lindy Hop transitions today, but East Coast Swing we're going to touch on. What's awkward about this is you're going from an 8-count dance to a 6-count dance, so that can get a little convoluted and confusing. But we're just going to try to keep it simple and show you the action. The most important part is the lead in. So when I'm leading this type of a movement, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, rock step, into the floor, into the floor. When I want to go into Charleston, I open the door. I open up. So Sherry feels my squaring of my shoulders, and she reciprocates that type of an action. From here now, she feels, oh, he's doing something different, and she can jump right in with me. That's the Charleston transition. So that's above the floor, and that's again tying into today's lesson. How do I get out of it? I gotta take her into the floor, down. Yeah? And when I shift down into the floor, boom, reset button, she realizes I'm going back to my 6-count East Coast Swing basic, and in this scenario, single time. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Open up for Charleston. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Now I want to get out of this, so I take it right back to into the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Here we go. Open up and Charleston. Cool. A little Charleston. One more time with the Charleston. Now I take it back home to that East Coast Swing, and of course, I slide back out to my promenade position. So, positioning notes. This hand's connected for our single East Coast Swing. I release the hand, I open up for Charleston, and this hand will slide around her a little more. I'll let Sherry talk about how her arms work as I show this from the back. So again, I'm on her shoulder blade, and as I open up into Charleston, I come in closer to her, and I wrap around her torso, find a comfortable place depending on the height of the partner, and she's going to talk about what her arms do in this scenario.
Alright, so we are in our standard closed position, so my arm is resting on top of his, not connected, I'm not squeezing, and when I feel him on that step come around me and open up into that open book or flat position, my arm doesn't change its positioning, it just changes where it rests on him. So when he goes from our V position to our open position, if you watch my left arm, I didn't change it. He changed, I did not change it. Because we are close in height, my hand just rests on the top of his shoulder. Again, I'm not connected there, I'm not gripping, and I'm not putting pressure down. It's just resting. If he was taller, my hand would rest on his back. It's that same resting weight, not heavy weight on his shoulder. He does not want to hold you up, ladies. I can do this without touching him with my hand because it is not a connection point.
So the secret to success, again, we always come back to this in our classes for our students. She's the constant, I'm the variable. So if her arms are in a position like this, and I want to take her hand, it's accessible. If I want to take her forearm, accessible. Shoulders, bicep, tricep, it doesn't matter. I can sneak right up and take whatever I want. So in that scenario, as I slide away from her, she stays here. As I slide in, she allows me to get closer. So if we turn around and show this, so she's at a distance here. I can slide out to the elbow, wrist, hand. She's not going to move. I can slide back in, and you notice she's in that same positioning. I have to be the one who adjusts, and if she wants to bring the hand up, she can, but we have a really good connection here. It's almost like one body with 4 feet, and she can really read me, and when I shift my weight and go into different steps that she's familiar with, of course, she follows suit. So that's a good connection tip as you're dancing into the Charleston Swing. Okay, so now we're going to talk about a little bit of shaping for everybody. So part of the dance that makes it fun is playing off of each other's energy. So once you have your steps, and I'm going to show you how to do this without a partner, since Sherry snuck away again. That's a good thing, because it gives me a little alone time. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to shape this. I'm going to go, hey now.
He wants alone time. I could give him alone time. Woo.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. So what I'm going to do now is create a little twist out to the side on my kick, and then come back to her and rock step. I'm now going to kick more in, like we talked about, almost like a tuck turn. More in, then away, like the jig kicks we learned earlier. So it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and out, in, out, in. Again, out, in, out, in. So when you do that with a partner, it's going to change the dynamic, the feel of the dance. So from here, hey, look, she came back. From here, we're going to do out, and when I say out, what I mean, instead of stepping straight back, we're stepping out of the shoulders, a little diagonal. She's doing the same thing, slightly away. This creates the space between us, an opening of the space. So you can watch that effect here as we go back. There's a stretch, and I allow that to happen by allowing my arm to be more loose there and not holding her tightly. So there's your 1, 2. 1, 2. Now we're coming in with 3, turning away for 4, and again, now there's a greater space between us. So watch that space. Away together, away together, away together, away together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and away together. And that creates a whole nother dynamic. In, out, bounce and away, in, out, back and away, in, out. And there's a whole nother transfer of energy here, which is really kind of cool. as you get into these steps and play and start to play with this energy, right? And the partnering effects. And then the shaping is more interesting than if we were doing this, right? This is kind of boring now, even though a moment ago it was very exciting. Okay, so that's a little shaping exercise for you guys. And again, it's initiated by the leader, and if the follow is aware of it, she can play off that energy, and that's how we create more together than we could do alone. I hope you guys are having fun out there. We're going to put on some music now. We're coming on to 1 hour that we've been with you. Thank you so much for giving us your time and having some fun with us here on a Tuesday afternoon. The COVID-19 is still among us, so we're trying to wait this thing out, and we're going to continue these classes on Mondays and Tuesdays. Latin dancing, salsa, maybe a little bachata on Mondays, and then of course Tuesday is our swing. We've done East Coast, we're getting Charleston, do a little Lindy Hop, and maybe even some West Coast if this thing keeps progressing. So thank you guys so much. Let's put on some music, let's dance around, let's have some fun. And I hope you guys are on your feet and enjoying this as well. Here we go.
All right, here we go. Single step into the floor, triple rather. Triple, drop step. Here's our jig kicks. Kick, kick. And tuck, turn. All right, here's the move. Double move. Out, in, front step. Out, in, push away. Back to the basic.
My daddy's coming for you.
Once again, thank you all so much for joining us for our Tuesday 6:30 swing day. Hope you guys are having fun out there, staying safe, taking care of one another and each other. Thank you for all your support. Until next time, we'll see you on the dance floor, guys. Have a great evening. Thanks again. Peace and blessings.